Girls, what was the most obvious hint you dropped? And the guy just didn't get it. I first met Henry when I was volunteering at this cleanup event along the river. We were assigned to the same stretch and ended up talking while picking up trash. He was super cute in this dorky way, tall with these nerdy glasses that somehow worked for him. We exchanged numbers to coordinate for the next cleanup, but started texting about random stuff almost immediately. For context, I'd been single for like a year after a pretty bad breakup and wasn't really looking for anything. But there was just something about Henry that had me interested, like checking my phone every 5 minutes interested. We started hanging out as friends, hiking, grabbing food, watching movies at his place. He had the better TV setup. After about a month, I realized I was catching serious feelings. The problem? Henry seemed completely oblivious to any hints I was dropping. And trust me, I was dropping many. First hint, we were watching this scary movie at his place and I did the classic OMG I'm so scared move and basically cuddled up next to him on the couch. His response? He paused the movie to ask if I wanted him to switch to something less scary. I was like, no. I want you to put your arm around me, you absolute dork. Second hint, I started finding excuses to touch him, fixing his collar, brushing lint off his shoulder, touching his arm when laughing at his jokes. His reaction? Nothing. Literally nothing. He'd just continue whatever conversation we were having like I wasn't clearly flirting. Third hint, I invited him over for dinner at my place. I'm talking candles, wine, me wearing this cute dress that shows just enough cleavage to be interesting but not desperate. I even made this fancy pasta dish that took hours. His response? He brought a board game because he thought I might be bored just having dinner, and then spent the entire night talking about some podcast he was obsessed with. I wanted to scream into my pasta. By this point, my friends were telling me to just make a move already, but I kept thinking, surely he'll catch on. I didn't want to be too forward because what if I was misreading our whole friendship? The anxiety was real. Fourth hint. We were texting late one night and I literally sent, "Wish you were here, my bed feels too empty," with a sad face emoji. His response? "Have you tried a body pillow? I got one last year and it's great for side sleeping." I almost threw my phone across the room far. The final straw hint happened when Henry helped me move some furniture in my apartment. It was the middle of summer, like 95 degrees, and he'd been lifting heavy stuff for hours. He was all sweaty, and I suggested he could shower at my place before heading home. He said that would be great. So I showed him to the bathroom, gave him a towel, and then said, and I quote, "You know, water conservation is really important these days," with the most suggestive smile humanly possible. This man, this absolute walnut. He looked at me very seriously and said, "That's so true. I always try to keep my showers under 5 minutes," and then closed the bathroom door. I stood there in the hallway for a solid minute just staring at the door, completely dumbfounded. After his very quick, environmentally conscious shower, he thanked me for the towel, helped me arrange the last bookshelf, and then said he needed to head out because he promised to call his mom that evening. I was officially done with hints at this point. I texted my group chat that night and they were all dying laughing at my failed attempts. My friend Kayla suggested I just needed to be completely direct. No hints, no subtlety, just straight up tell him how I felt. So a week later, I invited him over again. No candles this time, no special outfit, just pizza and honesty. After we ate, I took a deep breath and said, "Henry, I need to tell you something. I like you, as more than a friend. I've been trying to show you for weeks now." The look on his face. I will never forget it. First confusion, then shock, then this slow dawning realization as his eyes got wider and wider. He started stuttering and turning bright red. Wait, what? He managed to say. "But you're you, and I'm me?" He went on to explain that he'd convinced himself I was way out of his league and had been interpreting all my hints as just me being a friendly person. And here's the kicker. The thing that makes me literally die inside every time I think about it. When I asked why he never considered I might be interested in him romantically, he said, "Well, that time at the river cleanup when we first met, you were wearing a wedding ring on your right hand. I figured you were recently divorced or separated and not looking for anything, so I made sure not to read into anything you did." I sat there in complete shock before bursting into laughter. That wedding ring was actually my grandmother's ring that I wear on my right hand because it's too big for my left. I'd been driving myself crazy dropping hints for months. While this man thought I was unavailable because of a piece of jewelry I